Hey kids.
We did it.
We did it, man. We're pros. We are pros.
Yeah.
How you doing, my friend?
I'm doing pretty good. How are you?
Pretty good. I'm just adjusting your mic volume. Tell me, what'd you have for breakfast today?
I have not had breakfast yet.
Okay. All right, we're gonna go after it without food. No fuel today. I had like a Slim Fast shake this morning. I'm like, all right, I'll just try eating that and no food in addition to that.
Okay.
So we get over to your look at the code. You want to talk about
What's happened last time? Okay. Last time we worked with the units and powers. Here.
we got some test cases that are actually passing now.
Yeah. Where are they?
Well, you can actually write them in, but if you look at right here, look at line 39. We have 4x times 2x, and we're coming back with 8x squared.
And
That's awesome.
Awesome. But this is what we want to tackle today. At least a little bit. And
Well, we thought this was, we ended with this failing test,
yeah,
and it was a little bit mysterious.
because here, wait. It expected, wait. I'm just gonna read. Yeah, it expected 1/3, as we say it should be equal to. But it gets -3/9. Sorry, I said 1/3. I meant -1/3 v.
Negative 1/3.
And it really gets
-3/9.
-3/9 v.
And we even explicitly call simplify, which turns out we did not need to do.
We don't.
We created another test case for this morning. Where's that other test case?
I believe it here. Wait, it's in fraction tests.
That's the only other one that's failing. Open that up. Simplification tests. That's
So
the one
this-
we created. We created both of these this morning. Notice the one above on line 48?
Passes, but -3/9 does not simplify into -1/3.
Yeah.
And we think that it is because
You can hit the num enter key and then type in the word simplify.
Oops,
That brings up the or num enter key.
I did.
Try it again. Yeah, there it is, right there.
Yeah.
And then type in simplify.
Simplify.
And then we call, okay, make fraction proper. So go into make fraction proper.
F12. So this is where you think it's happening.
Yeah. So
What we want to do is get the sign and then take away the sign, but store the sign somewhere else. Go through all of the code and then put the sign back on at the end once we're done with all of the code.
yeah, we got a slight challenge here in that get factors. If it's a negative number, it makes answering that problem much harder. Like if I've got -9, then now are my factors 3 and -1? I mean, and what are they? It makes more sense to send in the absolute value of it here and here, or to change get factors so if it's negative, it gives me a -1 in addition to a bunch of other factors, I suppose. But I kind of, my intuition is, my gut feel is we send in an absolute value here, an absolute value there, and maybe even more like this. Maybe we just, like you say, I think we do this. We store the sign. So we say, like this, kind of save sign. And then we, oh, excuse me, Campbell, sorry about that. And then what we do is we make sure that numerator, we say numerator is equal to ABS, math.abs of numerator. And then we repeat that. Go ahead and repeat that for denominator and whole number.
Okay.
There it is, suggested for you. And then now you just hit the shift enter again. You don't have to keep hitting enter. You can just, there you go.
Whole number.
Okay, good. Now we know all of this code is essentially going to work all the way down to the end. Right?
Yeah.
And
But
now, what?
we need to apply the saved sign.
Yeah. Can you want to do that?
Yeah, I think. So. Right? Yeah.
Sure. That's one way to do it.
Oh wait. I think it wants this.
There's a template. So if you hit the end key, if you hit escape to get out of here,
Escape.
and hit the end key and come down, there's a template called B that'll give you a brace,
Braces.
block braces.
Not delimiters.
Yeah.
Right? We say if it's -1, we say that it's just a negative number.
Right. So if sign is -1, it's a negative number. What are we going to do? To numerator, denominator, whole number. What are we going to do with the
Numerator times equals just -1.
Okay.
I feel like there's. Can we just say negative numerator? Or no? Like just.
You could say numerator equals negative numerator. You could do that as well.
But you can't. No, we don't want denominator. We want whole number.
All right.
And then just denominator stays the same.
Stays the same. Denominator should always be positive. Anyway, in fact, you could even argue that line 460 is not needed because we ensure elsewhere that denominator will always be positive. Let's run the test cases. Let's see what happens. Save it and run all the test cases.
Huh.
Actually, you can probably run all the test cases and it'll just doesn't need to be saved. It'll figure it out using the latest code. Okay. All of them passed. Try deleting line 460 and run the test cases again. I don't think we need it, is I guess my suggestion. And so if we don't need it...
I don't think we do either. Yeah.
All the tests should continue to pass. Wow. Okay, so we've got a bunch of tests passing. Can we demonstrate this? Can we go out and like maybe go to Khan Academy? Do you think you can find us some Khan Academy questions and with variables and or units and see how this works with that?
Yes, I probably. Oops. Wait. Okay. So unit. Oops.
Maybe unit or unit multiplication or something like that. Unit multiplication. Multiplication. Khan Academy multiplying unit fractions of whole numbers.
Yeah.
All right, we try that.
Okay.
Oh, that one's interesting. So basically what we're saying is 4/5 divided by 1/5, which we already know how to do. There's no units in that though.
Yeah. But we want units.
But you could type that in. You could say 4/5 divided by 1/5.
Yeah.
Our calculator can handle that.
4/5 divided by. Oops. Divided by. And then it's just 4.
Any units? Are we going to get any units here?
No.
Unit fractions. Powers? Maybe we add the word powers to it. To our search.
Okay. Powers.
And maybe we don't need fractions. Multiplying fractions and visuals. Can't really think of anything. Maybe add the word variables.
Variables.
And I don't know. Definitely powers. Multiplying, and maybe we don't need the word fractions either, but we can see what we can get. Multiplying, dividing fractions with variables.
Problems.
I kind of want to throw Khan Academy back in. Get out there, because they have those practice problems. We can get to the right section. Powers of fractions. We don't really have that support for this yet.
No, we don't.
And we don't have support for
We could easily add
friends.
it, though.
What'd you say?
We could easily add it.
Careful with that, throwing the word easy around. The
Okay.
last time you threw that word around, we spent, 4 or 5 days?
We already
About
have.
8 hours implementing that.
There's already a math.pow thing in code. What is it called?
Right, there's math.power. We got, you're right. We got that, but
And
there's
we
also
already have the code to convert the exponent that we have to a regular number and then use it.
right. We don't have the regular expression to parse that and recognize that. I'm worried about the
Yeah.
regular expression side
Okay.
of that. I'm worried that that's just going to take some time and thought.
Rational?
Okay, well, let's just type something in, since we're not finding any of this stuff here. Let's just type some stuff in.
Okay.
So let's do 4x. Let's do 4x plus 5x. Nice. Notice as soon as you type the x. Now let's go make this.
Oh,
What?
these ones don't have units. It's okay though. As long as
Fractions
one
don't have
is.
units. Oh, that's a good bug.
The bottom two. Only this one. Oop.
So we should fix that. Change these to x squareds. And when you change the first one to an x squared,
It just doesn't work.
it should say, sorry, I can't add them. I can't add them together. If you change the second one, that's not bad. What if we did times, now change one of those to a third?
Yeah. Oops.
And it adds them up. Now divide those two together. Divide one by the other. So we change the sign in the middle to a divide, and we should get to the -1. That feels all like it's right to me. 4x squared divided by 5x cubed. Yeah, that's right. That's also right. Can't do it because
Oops,
they're
right.
different units. The cool thing about this is you can replace your x with like centimeters. Replace x with centimeters.
Uh-oh.
What?
These units do match.
Wait. Uh-oh. This is a test case. No, wait. It's saying something's wrong.
Units do not match.
I think it's because we said on our denominator that we had to have a space.
Oh, right.
Couldn't do that. Huh. Says units do not match. All right, create a test case. And let's explore it. All right. You don't have to close it down, but that's okay. We can close it down. All right, where are we going to put it? Maybe in unit powers. And then create a new test case called test matching units or something like that. Or
yeah.
Create a new test method down in here.
Matching units with powers. Oops. Okay.
We want to change that x
to
squared
something.
to an x to the third.
Yes, x cubed. We should probably
Well,
do
it's
something
actually way different from the
simple.
answer that it gave us. What'd you say?
Yeah, the answer it gave us was just an answer that was given to us before, like from a different thing.
So to get to 4 7ths minus 5 8ths, what we're going to have to do to figure out what the right answer is that we're going to have to multiply this by 8. So it's going to be 4 times 8 times 8 plus 7 times 5. Watch and see if you agree with my work. Divided by 7 times 8.
Why the 7 times 5?
Oh, because I'm taking this denominator and multiplying it by that numerator. So I'm multiplying this by 7 over 7 and multiplying this by 8 over 8. So I get 56 on the bottom. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Okay, 56 is on the bottom. This total's on the top. So
Which would be 32 plus
24, right? Or I'm sorry, no, you're right. 32
No, 32 plus
35 is 67.
67. Yeah, 67.
Okay, so we're expecting this to be 6756 x to the third. Run that test case. And it may, I'm not sure if that's going to be 1 and...
Oh yeah, they can probably simplify.
Through an exception, units do not match.
But they do!
Units definitely match, so we're going to need
Let's
to...
wait. Somewhere in the code we have something that says we should throw the exception if this happens. We need to go to that piece of code.
So you could search for that, you could search for the text you just saw. So hit Control-Shift-F. Not the symbol, because it's not a symbol, it's actually text in a string. So hit Control-Shift-F, and that does a find through all your files. And look for the text that we saw, which I've already promptly forgotten.
We should...
No. I'm not that. You're looking for the text of the exception in the test runner that we saw. Look at the test runner. Go look at the test runner. Click on the test runner tab down the bottom left. Bottom left. See the blue words test runner?
Yeah.
Click on that. That's the output of it.
That's...
Oh, no, I'm wrong. That's the tab for the other one. Okay, lift this up a bit. We're going to lift this up. Can we do it? Guess we have to close this down. Okay. Now can I lift up to see the output? Where's my scroll
I think we have
bar?
to run again.
Well, okay, we could, but also, why isn't the output? There it is right there. Okay. This. Units do not match. Also, this is the method. Test, well, no wait, that's the method we just ran here, boom. But where's our call stack? It's in op addition. See it?
Yeah.
This is our call stack. So op to subtraction led to op addition, which said units don't match.
Yeah.
But we can, yeah. All right. So anyway, there we are. Did we get there because of a double click, or did you get us there? Did you do something to bring us here?
I didn't do anything to bring us.
Okay. So super number 1 has matching units super number 2. So we got to set a breakpoint here and take a look at what they are.
Wait, I want to see. Okay.
So breakpoint line 321.
Okay.
Or finally 320 works as well. Go back to the test case and debug the test case. What do you want to say? You said, wait, I want to see something.
No, I didn't. I think I didn't. Okay. Yeah. It's F10, right? Or F11? Just to go to the next piece? F11 or F10?
Yeah, all we have to do is hover over these, though, and open them up and see what the units are. Unit powers. There's 1 in there. It's x to the 3rd. One's got x to the 3rd, so the one on the left is good. The one on the right, unit powers, 0. The number on the right has no unit powers. Okay, so the problem has already occurred getting in here. If we look to the call stack, we can see where we were first. Create negative is on super number 2. What do you want to bet that create negative fails to copy over?
The units.
There it is right there. See it?
Yeah.
Create negative needs to save the units.
We already have copy units from, do we not?
We do, but we need, instead of returning, we need to create a result called SuperNumber. If you're right here, you type in RI, it'll get you, it's great for getting a result instance, right like that. So that we'll call that result. I'm going to just cut this, put this down near the end. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this and assign it here. Let's say it's equal to there. Wait, did I miss a new? Yeah, there we go. It's equal to that. And then else, I'm going to say it's equal to that. Okay, now I want you to add the line of code that fixes the bug. That line of code goes right here. It's a little tricky if you don't remember where we were. So we've got copy units from.
This is a method?
Yep. And notice in the hint it says it wants the source, the SuperNumbers source.
So, that's just result, right?
Try it.
That
And then
makes me
semicolon.
worry that it isn't result.
And set a breakpoint here.
On 501?
Yeah, on 501. And I want to make one more change before we get out of here. And that is on our toString call, our toString method, we are returning this plus display string. Hold on. And in our debugger display, we're doing value as string. Value as string does not include, if it's a decimal, we call toString, but if it's a fraction, we'd return this. And what I think I want to do instead of this is return get fraction display string, improper fraction string, mixed number fraction string. Probably that one. What do you think out of those 3? Which one would we call? Or those? Well, how do you want to display it if it's a fraction?
Yeah, probably.
This is for debugging. So when you're stepping through and you see its value displayed.
Yeah, mixed number fraction string, so that.
Okay. All right, I just wanted to make that change there. All right, let's go back and debug that test case that's failing.
Okay.
Looks like you're running right now, so you might want to stop the run. Okay, and then just go back to the test case and restart it. You can also hit Shift F5 here too to abort. Shift F5 stops it. Okay, that's the one we want to get to. All right. All right, so copy units from. Result units still doesn't have any units.
Still 0. 0 units.
What about this in here? If we go into debug Windows, watch, and we just type in this, so it's already been typed in. Here's the this.
Oh.
This one has unit powers. It's got x to the third.
Wow.
This, well, we're calling create negative on this. If we look at the call stack, we went into the operator overload for minus. So we said negative soup2 is equal to this dot create negative. So we're taking the number that we had, this number coming in, as the correct unit powers, x to the third.
Yeah.
We're calling create negative on it, which means it's going to create a new one and return it. Okay, so when we call create negative on it, we jump in there and you look at the call stack, all of a sudden the this now becomes the it. Well, I mean, is the it, which means this, right? When I went in here and said, what's this? This one is correct. So watch what happens when we copy units from. I wonder what's going to happen down here. Nothing.
Huh.
Unit powers stayed the same. How's the result? Result stayed the same as well. So this is close, but it's not right. Instead of copying from the wrong one into this, we want to copy from this into result. So we need a different version of copy units from. We don't want to call it on this. When we have it, oops, did I hit run or something? Looks like I might have hit run. When we have it here without a prefix on it, it's calling it on this instance, which is already correct, but it doesn't matter if this one's correct because for create negative is going to return result. Create negative after it returns result is going to then use that result here and add them together. That's why the units aren't matching, because this value isn't, this doesn't have the units. Is this super confusing or is this kind of clear?
No, that makes sense.
So how do we fix this is the question. Right now it says it's calling, this is the same as if I said this dot copy units from. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
That's the same. In fact, every time I call a method that's already inside the same class, it's the same as saying, here we go, this. See that? But look what it does. It de-emphasizes this and says, hey, name can be simplified. And maybe I can show potential fix. It says remove the disqualification. It's just a simple version. It's implied that we're calling it on ourselves. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
What you want to do is make this do the kind of the opposite. Instead of copying it from result into this, you want to copy it from this into result.
Okay.
I want to do one more check though, because one of the changes, that's I believe the correct thing, and that'll fix it. I do want to check the value as string piece here. Mixed number fraction string, are we still forgetting the units? Yeah, mixed number fraction string doesn't include units. Right? Yeah, mixed number fraction string is not including the units. And here the same thing's happening here. Improper fraction string, does that include the units? Also not including the units. That's why when we run, we're not seeing it. What's display string doing? Yeah. Get fraction display string, does that include units? It does. Get mixed fraction. Okay, so what I think we need to do is on those other two pieces, those other two that weren't, I think we need to add units to it. So improper fraction string here should return the units. Get units display string. like that.
Yeah.
That's what I think it should do. And I think, so that's improper fraction string. I think mixed number should do this. Now, since I'm making this massive change here, this radical change to this very basic core component, we need to run all our test cases. Make sure they still pass.
Okay. Same one, still fails.
Hold on. It may be that it's a -3. I added them.
Oh.
It's right. We were wrong. Remember we got 32 and 35?
Yeah.
I added them together.
Yeah.
Okay, run the test cases again. What'd you say?
Simple. When it's a subtraction symbol.
Yeah.
So now everything should succeed.
Okay, that's good. Also, when we run, we should see improved display. Go ahead and run it, and also with the mind to what we're going to do next. So now you should see units in all 3 of the labels. Remember, you can't do the X there next to the denominator.
Right.
At least we said. I thought we said that. You have to have a space there. Okay, that third one is not right. What's wrong with that third one? That is I forget what it is. Well, you know what we could do? All right, go ahead. You go ahead.
Okay, so now it works with this.
Let's see, 5, 6 minus 3/8. All right, let me show you something. See how you're hovering over this?
Wait. This one's the whole number one, right?
Well, let's figure it out. Let's go into our main window. Look at the designer. The first one is answer decimal.
Yeah.
I think we can do this. Tooltip equals decimal. Answer. Click to copy this to the clipboard. It's called discoverability, right? We're helping people discover how to use it. We're going to call this one the improper fraction. Like that. Mixed number fraction. Okay, like that. Now just that change, resemble hot reload should now fix it. Look, now we can hover over it and see what it is. So now we know our mixed number fraction is the one that's problematic. And we can go over here and say, just answer mixed fraction. This one is not including units.
Uh-oh. That's not.
Oh, it's this line right here. If whole number is 0. See it?
Yeah.
So what we could do is set a breakpoint here. Just make any change at all, and we should hit that breakpoint. And now we can then add that code. Right there.
Yeah.
Clear the breakpoint and run, and now that should fix it.
Yeah.
Looks better, doesn't it?
Yes.
Okay, so now if we make this like 15/6, now we see the different answers that are showing up there. Now, the first one is not forced to be a decimal.
No, we need to make it forced to be a decimal.
Can you do that? Go ahead.
We also want to add a percentage.
Yes. Go ahead and let's force it to a decimal, and then we'll add percentage. Good. That's a great place to start.
Uh-oh. What?
Just tap the next reference. And see here, the method you're in is called set answer decimal. Good. Keep going.
Wait.
No, go back to where you were. You're in the right spot. Tab index reference.
Here?
One more time. There you go. See, it's right there.
Oh.
It's calling display string. We want to have it call decimal,
decimal
string, which I don't know if it exists yet or not.
I don't think it does. Oops.
Alt, Shift, and left arrow will help you navigate between the camel case letters, the uppercase and lowercase splits. Alt,
No, I
left,
just
right.
had caps lock on. So
What'd you say?
I just had caps lock on. So it wasn't.
No, I'm saying Alt. You need to get rid of the word display, I think, don't you?
Not really, because we're still going to display it.
Okay. Can I try something? I just want to see if we already have it.
No.
No? Okay. We're going to call it decimal display string. All right, so go ahead. Declare it.
Yeah. Here, right?
Do with default body. So we don't need any backing store on this. And let's just change this up a little bit. I'm going to get rid of this, do that, type in a G space. And we just got to figure out what to return here. So basically,
we just want to return, if it's a fraction, we want to return the
as a decimal is what we want to do.
Return it as a decimal.
Right.
If it's a decimal, just return it as a decimal.
Right. If type is equal to decimal, then we can return the value, I think, plus get units display string.
Yes. Then we want to have an Elsif, right?
We don't really need it because there's
Oh,
only
that's
two
true.
types that we're supporting right now. If we had a third type, that would maybe make sense, or a fourth.
Yeah.
But right here, we want to convert it to a decimal. Do we have anything that converts to decimal?
Wait. But if we're gonna have support for percentages, I am assuming we're gonna add support for percentages in text box. So I think we should do an Elsif.
I'm sorry, say the first part again.
Because we're gonna add support for adding and subtracting, or for adding a percentage answer.
Yeah.
I think we might also want to add a.
Oh, you want to add that as a number type?
Yeah.
Okay, let's do an
So we
Elsif
should
here
also-
just in case, but I think we can do it just as a simple, we multiply by, we multiply by 10 and then add
Nope.
add the percent at the end of it.
What is it for Elsif? What is the shortcut?
LF.
LF.
It's the sounds those letters the Elsif makes.
Oops, I hit enter. Elsif. Number type. Fraction. Return. Oh wait. R. Here we wanna.
I think we have to do the actual math here. We say it's
Yeah.
whole
It's just
number plus
plus numerator. Yeah.
over denominator.
Whole number.
And I think that'll work because if it was
Plus.
negative, we said that we would make both whole number and numerator negative.
You did.
Remember? So even if it's negative, that'll still be correct.
Denominator. Bow.
Plus, get units
Oops,
display string.
right. Get units display string. Ba-ba. Ba-ba.
So this, I want to take all of this and put it in parentheses. Okay. Now, I want to show you one thing. We were talking about whether we needed this or not, right? Watch what happens with it as it is. We have a problem. Get says not all code paths return a value. In other words, it's possible that this is false according to, the code.
But we only have decimal. Oh, yeah, we only have the number type decimal.
You and I know that, but the code doesn't know that. So what that means is the compiler doesn't know that. We need to come in here and do something by default here. Or maybe throw an error, unknown type, right? Or maybe not an error, but just, an error message. And we can say unknown type. See it?
Yeah.
Like that. Or we could get rid of that, go to there, and do this. See what I'm saying? You could do something like that.
Yes, but if we have support for percentages.
Then there we go.
Or another.
Unknown type, like that. Spell checker didn't like that. Okay, so now we've got this. Are we using it? Yeah, it looks like we are. Let's run it and see if it works.
Nope, it does not work.
All right, you know why? Let's go look at that. Decimal display string. Whoops. Jump in there. These are ints. And if I just am multiplying variables that are ints by each other, it'll give me an answer that's an int. So 1 divided by 2 that are of type int will be 0.
We have to cast them as decimals.
Yes. So you can cast them by doing C, E, E, yep, just like that. And do the same for numerator. And I would think it would be good to do it also as well for denominators.
Yeah.
Well, probably. What is going on with its underline here? Is it because we're still running? Oh, because we're still running. It's just saying I can't make this code change because you're running right now. So we either have to get to a breakpoint, step through it so it can recompile those changes, or we need to stop and restart.
Okay. Shift. F5.
If you can stop and restart, go ahead and clear that breakpoint because we don't need it, I think, anymore.
Right, we do not.
Interesting, said the breakpoint wasn't going to get hit. I wonder where that is. You can quite look at that closely.
Because there was no value in here.
There you go. Try 1/3.
Okay.
And then give it some units.
That's what I was about to do. Gosh.
Remember, I think we said we can't do units next to
A denominator.
the denominator. We need a space. You
Oh,
agreed that we were
right.
going to do that.
Wait a minute. There's one more thing.
Oh, wait. Hold on. No, hold on. There was a bug right there, I think.
We don't have this. Support for this as a valid unit.
I'm sorry. Hold on.
We don't have support for meters per second, I guess.
Hold on. Say that again. We don't have support for what?
Meters per second.
Meters.
Per second.
Well, I see. That is meters per second right there.
Yeah, but it's not showing it as meters per second.
I see. You want to take negative number powers and do a slash and put all the negative number powers at the bottom. That's what I think I hear you saying.
That's not.
This is meters per second.
Yeah.
You want to show it in a different way is what it sounds like you're saying.
Yeah, I do. Because
So that's
it's not clear that that's meters per second.
Okay. All right, let's work on that. Anything else we want to do? I thought I saw a bug. I'm going to hit a undo.
Okay.
I saw a bug. I want to go back. I saw a bug.
It's because the view doesn't have a space. So it's just like...
Nope, this one's good. I thought it was missing. Where's Control Y? Control Y is redo. Yeah, I thought I didn't see the V, and I thought it was wrong, but it's good.
We still don't have support for something like. Can I have control for a second?
Yeah, you can.
We still don't have support for that.
Right. That's something else we can add. That's a separate thing. Holding on to the power of the thing we've got it's a separate piece that we need to do.
Yeah.
But that one is... Well, let's look at that for a second. If we're here and we say like this squared, it's not 1 over 2 squared, is it? Is it, or alternatively, is it like, do we have to define it like this?
It's 1 over 2 times 1 over 2. I think the parentheses are unnecessary.
Yeah, let's do...
Because we're not actually dividing 1
what if we do this?
by 2.
In other words, is it equal, in terms of notation, will it be equal to that?
Yeah.
You think it will?
Because I think...
So we're going to do 9
real
fourths.
math.
Is the answer 9 fourths or is the answer 3 fourths? You see what I'm saying? Because this could be construed as just doing that one squared.
Yes, but that's because we aren't actually doing anything. We are keeping the fraction as a fraction in the code.
So we're considering it kind of a whole number thing. Is that what you're saying? Did you say yes?
Yeah. Because we take 3 halves and we say that number is just a fraction. It's not 3 divided by 2 squared. Alright, we see 3 halves squared, I think. That's what I see when I see it. And we could get the code to have it say that that is true as well. But I see that maybe you would want to just have the denominator.
Usually, let's go through these again. I wanted to kind of go forwards and backwards. Yeah, that one's good. I'm wondering about notation here. Normally, I think we would throw v times x together. Yeah. We put them right next to each other if they were single letter pieces.
Oh, yeah. I think we might just do the multiplication sign, like v m times x squared, x cubed.
You want a multiplication sign?
Oh, wait, but I see how that's inconsistent with the power. Because it could be seen that it's m times x to the power of 3.
Yeah, it could look like, it's a little bit tricky.
And this m times x to the power.
Yeah, the question is, I don't know, if every unit is one letter long, then I think we could do it. But if I had 1/2 of a bird,
then you don't want bird x.
Yeah, see what I'm saying?
Birds
times that. All right, so let's go into, we want to talk about meters per second. So we want to say, let's say we go 1/2 a meter and we divide that by 1 second, like that.
Yeah. You
want to make this m/second.
Yeah. I mean, it's the same.
All right.
They both have the same value, but it's just easier to understand that it's meters per second.
So let's create a test case for that. You do that.
Okay. That would probably go in test unit powers, I would assume. Somewhere in here. Yeah. Oop. Okay. So this is test meter.
You need to have only alpha characters in a method name.
Oh, meters per.
You're gonna have to spell it out, I think. You could also say, call this negative unit powers as your test too.
Yeah.
All right, so give the answers of how you want it to be. I have a question for you.
Yeah? Oh. Oh, wait. I see a problem.
What do you want this answer to look like? If I take 5 and I divide it by 1 second, what's the answer going to be? What's going to happen here? I took out meters. What happens here?
It's just 5 seconds.
It's not 5 seconds. It's either 5 seconds to the -1.
Why not?
Because I've divided by 1 second.
Right, not multiplication.
Yeah, this is the unit over here. I'm taking 5 divided by 1 second. I have no units on top. It rarely happens, but I'm wondering, what do we do? Do we going to replace this with a 1?
I mean, here's the thing.
Or are we going to use the -1 right here?
In this case scenario, in this exact example that you've given, it's you can just change this to a multiplication sign, and it's the same thing. So it's 5 times 1 second.
It's not.
And it would be 5 seconds.
No, it's not. It's 5 divided by 1 second.
Yes.
Second,
But
the power of second is to the -1 power, just like it is here. So the answer is either going to be, it's either got to be 1,
But
it's
wait.
either got to be, let me show you, it's got to be one of 2 things. Let me run the app so I can get that -1 in real fast. Boom. Oops, I'm hitting the wrong one. I'm trying to hit the negative number. There it is, -1. All right, so take that, copy it, close. All right, so it's got to be one of 2 answers. These are both
not
right.
0.5, you mean 5, I believe, right?
What'd you say?
You
Oh,
mean
5.
not 0.5.
I do mean that. Yeah, thanks. So, do you see what I'm saying? It's got to be one of these 2 answers. It's not 5 divided by 1 and then seconds on top. It's 5 divided by 1 second.
Yes, but...
Which of those 2 is the right
right,
answer?
because you also have to invert the seconds when you would do.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So, which of these 2 is the answer? Is it 5 essentially plus 1 divided by a second? Or is it 5 seconds to the -1 power? How would you display it? In other words, if we're going to fix this right here, in other words, right now, if we type in this, we should get this.
I think just 5 1 second.
Okay, let's take that.
5 times 1 over a second.
Oops, let's run it. Paste it in. Right, that's the right answer.
It's correct, yeah.
Okay, what I'm suggesting is if we go after this and change it to something like this, do we want to change it to that too then?
Yeah.
Or
that's
are we
what
going to
I'm-
keep this as the right answer?
I think we should also change the other one to that. Change
okay.
it to that.
So we want to go to get units display string, I think is what it was called. That's where that code is going to live. Hold on 1 second. So this is, we don't want to test for that anymore, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so we'll test for this one first, and then we'll make sure this one works as well. Yeah, I think I would actually prefer the second one, because I find this a little bit unusual. But we don't have to change it because I'm having that feeling. I just wanted to share it with you though. Okay, so what did I just say? What was the method name? Get units display string. Here's where we're doing this work. So what we're doing here is we're just collecting all the units. Dainty is out there. Hey there, Dainty. How you doing? So right now we're going through all of the unit powers and just simply adding them. and we're adding their power string, which we're calling normal to superscript in our utility methods of whatever their power is. And we add it. That's currently what we're doing.
Yeah.
We're doing for each. But now what we want to do is what? How do we describe this? What's our strategy here? What do we want to do? How are we going to change that? How are we going to change what's currently coming out? Which the current answer is like currently getting something like 0.5 meters second, -1, right? Because it's just going through the powers. It grabs the M first, then it grabs second next, finds out what a power is, and puts it up and just adds them up. So strategically, instead of going through one at a time and doing that, what do we need to do to get this?
I think that a way to do it as well, just other than what I think you're suggesting, is to say after we have that, to say if the second actually, if never mind. Okay, so I think what we can say, instead of going through the units one by one, we should just say if there's a unit on top of another unit, then write it as that.
So
Does that make sense?
I think so. So you're saying all the units on top, we write those out.
Yeah.
Then we check to see if there are units on the bottom. And if there are, we put a slash. And then we write those units out.
And if the units on the bottom aren't the same as the ones on the top.
Well, they won't be because there's only one set of powers. If we're checking the powers, how do we know if they're on the top or the bottom? For a unit.
We check if they're on the left side or the right side of the division symbol.
No. So my question is, how do we know if one of our unit powers, so our unit powers is in here, right? It's our unit power. That unit power class has two properties: unit, which is a string, and power, which is a
decimal.
So how do we know if one of these is on top or below? How do we know where to put it, above or below, based on this data?
I'm not sure, but
If
I'm pretty sure it's because we already have code that separates the left side from the right side. Then we can say if there's a division symbol, take the left side, put it on top, take the right side and put it on the
Nope,
bottom.
there's notice there's no division symbol here. We only have unit and power. We've already parsed it, we got the data, it's in the right spot. We already know that works. We're talking simply about displaying it right now. And we have two pieces of data. One is the name of the unit, and one is the power. For example, x squared, what would unit be? What would the value of unit be if I had x squared? And what would the power be?
Squared, or 2.
Okay, and does that go on top or below?
What do you mean?
Does it go on top of or below the slash? The slash is like a fraction.
On top of...
Why does it go on top of the fraction?
Because because the power, it's the same as the power over 1, which is, and so the power is also the numerator in that situation.
The power is the numerator in that situation. What if I have something divided by, seconds? What is the unit going to be if it's divided by seconds? If my original equation said, x divided by, or maybe better to say meters per second. Okay, like that. So in the case of this guy, what is the value of unit?
Meters per second.
Nope. Unit power only stores one of these. So we'll already have one called M for meters, and the power. So wait, let's just look at M. For the unit power for M, what will unit be?
M.
Right, and what will the power be?
1.
Good. And for second, what will the unit be?
Second.
Right, SEC. And what will the power be?
1.
What?
Power will be -1.
-1.
But we won't display it like that.
Well, but right, it won't be. -1 for the power under the slash. Or after the slash, if you want to, depending on how you're displaying it. -1 goes afterwards. Shirley's out there.
Shirley is in the house.
Making himself very, very known. So all powers under, let's look at the pattern here. What if I have M squared here? What's power going to be?
Positive.
Positive. What if I have second squared here? What's
Power's going to be negative.
negative what?
2.
Right. So see what's going on? This is how we tell if it's above or below. The power is either going to be greater than or less than 0. Make sense?
Yeah.
Okay. Do we have anything that removes? Hold on. I think we do. We had a code. I just want to double check it. I want to run it. And I want to say 1M divided by 2M. And does it remove the M's? 1M divided by 2M. It does. So you can see that M is to the 0 power, right? We're combining them together here, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay, good. All right, so that is good. All right, so back over here. What's our strategy? We want to get all the ones on, you said we wanted to get all the numbers on top first. Like all these flowers here, man.
Yeah.
Pretty cool.
They're loud.
So we want to list all numbers, all powers on top, not numbers, powers on top first. Right? Then check to see if we have any powers on the bottom.
Yeah.
Right? If so, add a slash, then list the powers on the bottom. I think that's our strategy. Does that make sense to you?
Yeah.
Okay. I want to see what's happening here. So here we're just figuring out the power string. What do these lines of code do? What's going on with line 135?
It's making sure that, or it's checking to see whether or not the power is 1, and if it isn't 1,
then it says power string is equal to
just normal.
It takes the power, whatever
And
it is,
gets rid of it.
and it calls this on it.
Yeah. Or sorry, it doesn't get rid of it.
What's this do?
Changes it from normal to superscript mode.
Okay.
So
And if power is 1, what will power string be when we get to this line of code? Or maybe
just
this line
be-
of code. What
it'll
will
be 0.
it'll be empty.
Empty. Yeah.
So if power is 1, power string will be empty. Okay? Cool with that?
Yeah.
Okay, let's do this. Get power. Stir. Maybe call it get superscript. Power stir. Is that cool with you?
Yeah.
All right, so we just extracted that method. All right, cool. Leading space. What's happening here? What's happening in this line
I'm
of
not
code?
sure.
Tell me about that. How are you not? What are you not sure about line 136?
I'm not sure why we have leading space.
Okay, it's not sure, but we do know that this line of code is doing what?
It's making leading space just a space.
Be a space. Okay, cool. Now what's happening here?
It says if we only have a one-letter unit or a
Right, we have a one-letter unit, and
there is no denominator,
yeah,
then you set the leading space equal to nothing.
to nothing.
So leading space.
Right. And the unit is the string. So if the name of it is only one, and we don't have a denominator. But if we do have a denominator, then we'll keep the space. The thing that's interesting is this really only matters the first time in, but we're doing it every time. So if we have a fraction, we're going to always put, if we have a fraction, what this means, watch this. Here, I'll show you something. Watch this. So if we have 1/2 meters squared per second. Do I have to do this? Interesting. Looks like we got a test case. Looks like we're not able to parse this. Or alternatively, maybe I'll just do this. This -1. Do I need a space? I need a space here. Okay. But now let's change this to 0.5 or 4, and look at what happens. Oh wow, look at this. SuperNumber initialization string is invalid. Why? We can't get
A
numbers,
decimal with a
units.
Wait, try no space.
We got a problem. We need to create a test case for this.
Yeah. I wonder what it thinks it is. Probably just
Well, we know what it thinks it is.
5.
Oh no, wait.
No,
Well, no, it
because
says it's invalid, so we're
Yeah.
not sure.
Because it's invalid, it's just saying what it was last time before it was invalid.
Yeah.
It probably does just think it's 0.5. It expects 0.5.
I want it to be that. That's one of those test
Yeah.
cases. There was another problem
Wait, what
I
does
saw.
it get?
What'd you say?
What does it get from it?
Right now?
Does it think that it's 0.5?
Well, it doesn't because it just says the
Yeah,
initialization
wait,
string
no,
is
but I want
invalid.
to see this. Just.
You'll have to, I think, stop your regular run. I don't think we can
Oh, okay.
hit
Wait.
Shift
Can
F5. Before you do that, though,
Can I wait?
hold on, wait. Hold on a second. Let's do a plot. Let's just see what happens if we do that. Nope.
No.
It really doesn't like the 0.5M. Wait, oh shoot. All right. I had something on the undo stack. I wanted to go get this second test case. That's what I was saying, wait on that. But we can't get that now because we closed it down. But let's go ahead and find out what this, well, we know what it's going to do. It's going to throw an exception saying the argument null exception,
Yeah.
argument exception, SuperNumber initialization string is invalid.
Okay.
All right, let's go after this bug.
Boom. All right.
So we can set a breakpoint, debug, step into it.
Okay.
Tell me what you're thinking.
I think
I'm not sure what you've done.
that there is a way to find it easily in the code, but I'm not sure where it is.
Yeah, so let's just step into it and trace it and follow it. Set a breakpoint, debug the test, hit F11 to step into 2num. Watch what happens. See where the breaking point is. It's got to be near one of our regex pieces. So F10 or F11, F11 now. This will step inside 2num, I think. All right, so F10 here. Good. I'm expecting that to be false. Now F11 to jump inside here.
Oops.
You hit F10?
Yeah. Is there a way to
Okay, at least
shift
no,
F10?
it brought us to the exception. Look where it is right here. So decimal fractionator can't handle it. If you hover over number stir, there it is passing it in. Decimal fractionator cannot handle it. So here's what we want to do. We want to dive into decimal fractionater, grab this string right here,
and change it all.
then start up our other app, the regex. Go ahead and start that up, put it in there, and see if you can duplicate this. I'll be right back.
Okay. Oh. Okay. Where do we add units? In here. We don't ever add units in here. Like, or here, I mean, in this string.
Let's go back to the code. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe we have the unit finder happening before it. Let's go look at, let's go back where we were. Up here, yeah, it's find unit number.
Find number unit.
Find number unit, that's where we want to be. Let's bring execution back up to this point. It looks like we'll have to restart the test case. Let's debug the test case again. Debug the test. You can clear this breakpoint. We don't need this one. Run it right here. So find number unit comes back null. That's our problem. So we got to go to find number unit. Do the same set of steps. See that?
Yeah.
That's what we need to do. All right, so take that. That's on the clipboard now.
Control A, Control B.
Do that. It does not find it.
No.
Why doesn't it find it?
We don't have support for decimals in here because we don't have support for this.
That's it. Good job, Campbell. Good job. Hold on though. To do
That's
a decimal.
not correct. No.
What?
The way that I wrote it was not correct, but it did pass for some reason. It succeeded, but only for this test. Just putting that in there does not work.
That actually might be enough, actually. That's enough. Well, yeah, we got the optional negative at its front. That's absolutely it, Campbell.
Okay.
That's the fix. Cool. So now we just changed the regex
Wait.
pattern.
Uh-oh, I think is it? No, everything still works.
Yeah, that's our bug. So that's easy to fix. We're just gonna pop that in right there. Right? Go ahead and make that fix. Good job. Really good job. All right. So save that. Now let's go back and look at our test case that was failing. Save it and go back to the test case.
Yeah.
could hit continue maybe. I don't know if it's going to take this change or not if we've stopped it in time. Yeah. Rerun the test case. Just stop it and rerun everything. Shift F5 and then go back to the test case, restart it.
Shift F5. Go to this test case. And then run or debug?
Run it. I think it's going to pass.
Yeah.
Good. Run everything. Run every test case.
It was just a simple character, a singular.
No, it's awesome.
Period.
It's a great bug to find, right? Because it's like you don't want to ship this and then have other people.
It's still just this one. Wait. Yeah. It's still just
Chili
this
Dev
one.
says the flowers aren't loud. It's exploding seeds bursting into the file into life that are loud.
Yes.
Okay, so now we're back to this problem, right?
Yeah.
Okay, let's go find that. Do you remember where we were? Get unit something, get unit string or something like that. Go find, hit the enter key and type in unit. Get unit, something like that. Get unit display string. It was right there. It was showing you to the very beginning of it.
What was it?
Hit escape and then bring it up again. Look what it does. Recent items.
Oh.
Take it. Okay, here's where we were. We're working in this space right here. So the thing I was talking about has denominator. This really only matters.
Can you turn up my volume a bit? Thanks.
Sure. Really only matters the first time we're through this list. If we don't have a denominator, then we don't need a space or second time through. So I kind of want to come in here and change this to second, or maybe just call this first time through. Set that equal to true. And then we're going to say, and not first time through, or
What? We need to. Yeah.
in other words, if we're not the first time through and when unit link's only one, we don't need leading space.
Okay.
Although we really can only do this, hold on, doesn't have denominator. Let's do this again.
Wait. We're
let's
never
create a-
setting first time true to false.
Yeah, you're right. Can compress, maybe should we say need leading spaces? Need leading spaces, like this. And maybe what we should do is first go through every single power and check to see, maybe let's do this. Need leading spaces is equal to has denominator. No, I don't quite do this. Need leading spaces, we're going to do this. Has any units longer than 1? Does that make sense?
Yeah.
All right, so now let's declare that. And now I want you to write this, see if you can figure this out and write this method in here. Has any units longer than 1?
Okay. If. What is it with length? It's something dot length.
Yeah, but well, the something is the string. So you got to find your way to the string first. What variable holds the string?
Unit power.
Nope. Unit power is, no, don't delete it. Unit power doesn't, when I was maybe too quick with the word no. Unit power is a class. It's got 2 things inside of it. We were just looking at it. It's got power and unit.
Yeah, unit.
There you go.
And then, so it is.
Yeah, I was too fast in saying no on that. Nope. Go back. It's already a string. What you want is right on the top. No, go ahead. You got the dot.
Dot length.
Yeah. Okay, so stop a second. You are asking where do I put length? It's on the string of unit power.
Yeah.
Does that make sense? The property that's the string.
Oops.
If it's greater than 1, okay, so if the unit length is greater than 1, what are we going to do?
Then return.
You just type in RT
True.
if you want return true, or RF if you want return false. You can also just do the T space and it should give you the true. Okay? All right, cool. You're halfway there.
Oh, right.
In which situation do we return false?
If that isn't true.
Not true. I'm going to say no. That's not going to work because what will happen now is it'll only go through the very first, it'll find the very first one, and based on the first one, it'll either return true or return false. You can't return here. You've got to let it go all the way through. But you need to do something here.
But it thinks that not all code paths return a value.
Right. You needed to return something there, but not inside the loop. Inside the
It
iteration
wasn't
of
inside the loop.
It was.
Oh, okay.
Here, let's undo and I'll show you what I mean. Undo, 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 undo. Or I'll show you what it is. It was, I'll show you where it was. It was here.
Oh, okay. That's not what I meant.
And see the difference between the two? This is going to mean, so for each, it goes through the first loop. It's inside. First time in, it's going to do this or that. And then it never checks the other powers.
Yeah.
Make sense? Okay, so we don't want that. And now we can get rid of that. So now that has any units longer than 1. Okay, so do we need leading spaces? The answer is, hold on, where was I? If we have any units longer than 1, we're going to need leading spaces.
Yeah.
Okay, so we don't need this check anymore. We're not going to check the individual length. We're just going to come in here. If need leading spaces, if we don't need the leading spaces, or, wait, is that true? If we don't need leading spaces, let's just do this for a second. If we don't need leading spaces, then we're there. Okay?
Yeah.
But we might also want to do something like this, where we say, hey, if it's our first time through and we have a denominator, then no matter what, we're going to say we're going to need the leading space on that. So we need the leading space.
Yeah.
And then else, if we don't need leading spaces, then we can get rid of that. So it's kind of like this right here. Is kind of what it's like. So even though we're kind of doing the same thing, we could also just simply say do nothing. We need the leading space. We could also simplify this. If not leading spaces, or it's not our first time through. Or anyway, or yeah. So if we don't need leading spaces, let's see. Hold on a second. All these knots are confusing my head. If we don't need leading spaces, or we'll only get to here if we do need leading spaces. Let's say we do need leading spaces. Yeah, no, I liked the code better before. I'm going to undo it all the way. I thought it was easier to read, even though it was a little bit redundant right here. So first time through and has denominator, and then no matter what, we're going to say it's the first time through to false at some point, like maybe down here. Okay. So first time through and has a denominator, then we definitely need the leading space, no matter what, and then otherwise we're going to strip off the extra spaces.
Yeah.
All right, we still haven't solved our goal of getting in here, but all of this we can now extract to a new method called get leading space.
Yes.
Okay? All right. Now, Let's run all the test cases.
Okay.
I just want to do this a step at a time.
And each time.
Like
check.
super carefully, yeah.
Yep, everything's the same.
Go to, oh, it's just that one.
Yeah.
Okay,
the one
cool.
That we're trying to fix.
That's great news. Everything passed but that one that we're working on. Okay,
Yeah.
so let's go back to our strategy. List all powers on top first. Okay, how do we get only the powers on top? If we want to grab only the powers on top, how do we do that?
We check to see if the power is negative or positive.
Okay, can you do that for me? Can you give me an if statement right here?
Yeah.
And then the body of the if statement, wait, oops, hold on a second. The body of the if statement should be this block right here. So if...
Sign. Nope.
You don't need a sign. I mean, you could do sign on it and it's mapped out. It's not sign of... You're checking the sign of the super number.
Oh, right.
Which is it positive or negative? What I need you to do is check the power of the unit power.
Unit power dot power. Is equal to.
It's going to be an inequality.
Right. Less than or equal to, no, just less than 0.
If it's less than 0, so you want to put all of the negative ones first, it looks like to me, or you're either that or you're working on the...
Sorry, I meant to do.
The second part.
Control Z, boom, boom.
Well, it's not less than is
Oh, right,
what?
right. That's, oopsies. Boom.
Well, it's the same as greater than,
Right.
is what I was getting to, greater than or equal to. So if it's greater than or equal to,
Why, but if it's equal to, then the number is just 0. And we already have code to deal with that.
okay, so if it's greater than 0.
Yeah.
If it's greater than 0, then we can list these out. But now we're not supporting negative pieces. Let's run all our test cases. I'm
Yeah.
expecting a few to fail.
Definitely. Almost, definitely. Almost. Yeah, one more failed. In test units variable.
Okay, so we're missing that. It's not finding that.
Yeah,
X
to the
in
power
there.
of negative numbers. Just as we specific.
Now, if we
So we
take
need to
this
We need to.
and we duplicate it,
Mm-hmm.
I'm not going to need first time through anymore is my argument. So I'm just going to replace that with a false right there. Okay? And this time we change this test
To less than.
less than, and we shouldn't ever need a is equal to 0 because that's just 1.
Yeah.
And it should have already been removed. This may fix all the test cases except for that one. Need leading spaces, first time through. I do need to set this to true for the second time in. Because
Why?
of the test case that's failing. Do you see it? See the difference between these two?
Holds the spaces.
Right? We said we weren't going to do that, so I do need to come back and set it to true again right in here. I need to pass it in.
Right. Okay.
Hey, I'm going to give that to Mom. Yeah, if you want. Okay, so let's, and then we have to set it to false again.
After this.
And now try running that, all the test cases.
Now it should only be one failing. Right? Yeah.
The id of Alan is in there, is out there with us. The id of Alan. I looked closely at your moniker yesterday and I was like, oh, that's not an L, that's an I, of course. All right, so we just have this one failing now. It's kind of where we're at. So the question is, when we talk about this one that's failing, can we double click to jump to it? Yeah. We were talking about this, right? This is what you want to see, right? Yes?
Yeah.
What was that other test that was failing? I don't remember. Do you remember it by chance? The one that was failing, the second one?
Yeah, I do. It was like something like 7/8 x to the negative 9
I'll find it.
is what it was expecting.
I'll
It was in
recreate the
test
bug.
units variable.
Oh, I thought I would.
It was in test units variable.
Just want to recreate that bug. All right, there it is right there. So we want to change this expected answer.
No, we want it to be that. Oh, right.
Well, you got to be consistent. See what I'm saying?
Yep.
I kind of like this better. If there's nothing on top to do that,
Okay, we don't have to do that then.
but we need to be consistent between our two different tests. In other words, this has got to be. We got to do the same thing here. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
This has got to be the one we want,
We don't have to.
and that's got to be the one we want, or it's got to be that. But we have to pick one of the two.
Whatever you want. I do not care.
All right. I'm telling you, based on all my experience with math, that's my favorite. This
Okay.
one I think is going to be a little bit weird as a number for people to see. If I don't have anything on the top, that's my favorite here too.
Okay.
Okay? So I think that's going to take a little bit of work to get to there. But,
No, we already have it like that.
well, but we're about to change it.
We're
about to change it
one
to-
situation.
We're about to change it so that we support this. We're about to change it. So I expect that we'll get this to pass and this will fail. And so we'll need to come in and get we want both of these to pass. Does that make sense?
Yeah. Yeah.
Because right now, what we're getting back out of this whole thing, if we have something like right now what we're getting out of this is this. This is what currently we're getting.
Yeah.
And we want to instead kind of divide things up and basically say, hey, look, if I have any units on the top that are positive, then we need to put a divide and then list these and flip there because they're now on the bottom. Oh boy, it's tricky though. Look at this. If we have, hold on, let me show you something. If we have this divided by 1 meter second, like that,
Yeah.
and maybe change this to something else other than this, I don't know. The problem is that, let's imagine this is some other kind of thing like T on the top. The problem is that this,
Yeah.
hold on, I want to change this to thirds. It's a little tricky in terms because we don't have parens here. So let's say that seconds was a third right here, like that.
You mean
although
seconds was cubed,
What'd you say?
not 1/3? You mean seconds was cubed, not 1/3?
Right. I mean
Yeah.
seconds is cubed to the third power is what I meant. It's a third to the third power. So what happens here
Okay.
is our answer. Yeah, I guess it kind of is readable. Time divided by meters, seconds cubed. This is inferred to be underneath on the bottom. In other words, I don't need to do this. Or do I? If I have more than one, should I put them in parens and they're on the bottom?
I'm not sure.
Yeah. All right.
The thing is, like, all of this is completely up to us, how we format the insert.
Yeah, fine. I agree with that. I agree with that. At the very least, if we have, what if we had this? We had if we had this meters per second, which I don't think we support this yet. Alan said, yeah, Twitch's font makes it read as an L. Confuses me sometimes too. Explicit over implicit regarding parens. Yeah.
Wait.
And if we divide this by 1 meter second.
What about?
Yes.
What if the meters has a power of? Never mind.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm gonna just, I'm gonna walk away from this question for a minute, and we're gonna just focus on this. We want that to work, right? If we run all our test cases now, do we just have one failing or two? This one is failing because of
the leading space thing.
The spacing issue, which we're going to put back. Okay. All right. Good. All right. So now we're going through it, finding the negatives. Now, I think it's also important that we have a Boolean in here. We talked about this logic. We said if there are any on top, any powers found on top, set that equal to false there. And I want you to set it to true when we found a power on top. Can you set that to true at the right spot?
Yes, but I'm gonna have to think about it for a little bit. No, I don't. Wait. What happens if a unit power, if the number on top, if the unit on top has a negative power?
Well, that won't happen. We're defining whether it's on top or not. That's in this super number, our units already have negatives or positives. This power is associated with them.
Okay.
And we're already asking that question,
But what if it's 1 meter to the -1 power?
Then then that won't show up.
Divided by
that won't be answered here, and it won't be
1
counted on
second.
top.
No. What if you have 1 meter to the -1 power over 1 second to the -1 power? What happens then?
Well, or if our parser supports it, then the units for the seconds are positive.
Okay.
I don't know if our parser supports it. If our regular expression parser supports it.
Okay.
So any powers found on top, I need that set to the true at the right spot.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Okay. So this is hard because we're checking to see if there is a power on top. But in order to check to see if there's a power on top, my first instinct tells me to check to see if the power is positive.
We're already doing that on line 147.
Yeah. Oh. Okay. Well, then
If that's on the
powers-
clipboard, you can type in ST to set it to true.
Is it on the clipboard? Yeah.
All right, that's good enough right there. So what this means is we found a unit power that's on top and we put it out in the string.
Yeah.
Now we know, okay, cool. We
Wait,
know
but
that,
not all code
What?
paths return a value.
what'd you say?
Not all code paths. Oh wait, no, never mind. Because
No,
we
it's
said
not
it equal
that.
False.
It's that we have assigned it, but we're never using it. That's all right, we're
But
still
we are.
working on it. What?
But we are using it. Oh wait, no, we're not. Not yet.
Okay. Now, at this point,
Second.
if we're the first time through and any powers found on the top is true,
Yeah.
I want to say result plus equals some string. What do I want to put there?
Oh.
So at this point, we found a
Okay.
negative power.
Yes. Yeah. And also, okay, so we found a negative power, and we're going through for the first time, and there is a power on top.
Yeah. In fact, let's do this. Let's split this conditional. Okay. And if any power is found on top, I'm going to even have an else here. And I'm going to do something here. We're actually going to need two different things here. If there's any power on top, what are we going to add? And if there's no powers found on top, what are we going to add? And I'll give you a hint. Do you need a hint?
Yeah, what are we adding to it? Is
That's
my question. Like, are we adding a power?
We need to either have something that ultimately is going to look like this, or is going to look like, well, maybe not that. I think we said we'd do that if there were no, if there was no, there was nothing there. So actually, I'm wrong here. What I was going to say we were going to need is this if there are no powers on top.
Yeah.
But we don't need that now that I've decided. We don't need it because we're going to go with the full-on negative units. So if any power is found on top, what are we going to add here? So in other words, the result at this point, e.g., example, result at this point equals,
I think I understand.
might equal like m, right, for meters. What do we need to add here? The Yet of Allen says, I don't know what grade Campbell is in, but this is super impressive. Sharp youngster.
You need to add.
Nobody ever says I'm sharp on this show, by the way, Campbell. Do you know that? Notice that? Everybody's like, that's a pretty below average dad right there.
I think it needs to be an interpolated string.
Okay, what's in the string? What do we add? It only needs to be interpolated if we're going to put a variable in here. So at this point, the result is m. Our unit test is looking for
Over
m
second.
slash, and then whatever the units
They're
are
not-
here.
Yeah. So it's m over
Oh,
the.
yeah, no, don't go that far. We're just going to add just the slash.
Oh, okay.
And so we don't need it to be interpolated.
We don't.
And all due credit to Dad for helping the youngster along. There you go. See, all you have to do is complain and tell a story like you're a victim, and people will come in and say, oh, you're not a victim. Like that. You're a
It's the
good
secret
guy,
of
too.
life.
Okay, that's what I'm looking for there. Okay? Next crucial piece of this whole pot puzzle is this guy. At this point, unit power is negative.
Is m over. Oh, right. Unit power.
Right there.
Wait, you mean unit power dot power is negative?
Yeah, I did
The
mean
unit
that.
can't be
What does this method do? Oops, I hit F11, sorry. Shift F5 to stop that. Control dash to get back to where we were.
You mean unit power?
F12
Unit
to
power
get in.
finds the, oh, you mean gets the power. Right.
I'm just working. Let's see what's going on here. We're only using power in here. See it? See it?
Yeah.
We don't need to do this whole thing. We can use this cool, go ahead and hit the refactoring key, the coder's key. There's this cool coder's refactoring called decompose parameter. And it'll turn that from a unit power into just a decimal. Okay? So
Yeah.
that's cool. Now let's go back to where we were. Where were we? We're pretty close. Okay, here. So at this point, that is negative. Okay?
Yeah.
But do we want it to be negative?
Well, no, because we're on the top right now. Right?
If any powers are found on the top, whoops, and we're not on the top right now. This is the top, right? All the
Oh,
positive
and now we're
powers.
on the bottom. So we do want it to be. No, we don't want it to be negative. We want the power to just be positive. And then also we want it to be
Right.
over.
If we found any powers on top. So it's basically like, look, we need to kind of have a multiplier on this, I think, is what we need. So I think I'm going to do this. I'm going to create a decimal, call it multiplier. And we're going to set that equal to 1, but then we're going to also come in and say, hey, if any power is found on top, then I'm going to say, let me do this. This is going to be power times multiplier. What am I setting multiplier to here? See where I'm using it? Multiplier is 1, power times multiplier. What do I set it to 2 if any powers were found on top?
Oh. Well, what are we multiplying it by? We're multiplying it by the top one or the bottom one?
We're multiplying power times our multiplier.
Yes, and the power of the top one or the bottom one? The bottom unit.
This is this is the top. Look, this for loop processes all the numbers on top. See the powers?
Yeah. And
This
we're at
one,
the bottom.
this second for loop processes all the for loops, all the powers that are on the bottom that are negative. So the question at this point, look, unit power dot power is negative.
Negative one.
I've got a multiplier. What'd you say? Did you answer it already?
Yes, negative one. So
Okay.
that if it's negative, so that when it's negative, we
Right.
set it to positive.
Yeah. If any powers are on the top, then we're going to switch the multiplier to -1. But if there's none found on the top, then we still want the other tests to pass.
succeed.
We want the where is it? The -9 one. This one. We want this to pass, right? If we call create reciprocal on this number, we want that to be the answer, not 1 over x to the 9 as the unit. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So we're only gonna remove those. So let's try that. Let's try running all the test cases and see how we do. See, are we in trouble? Are they all passing? I think they might all pass. Okay, wait, look.
It's the
Get leading
it's still the
space.
same one.
Look. Get leading space. See it right here, meters per second? There's
Yeah.
two problems here. Okay? On this one. But that meters per
Yeah.
second, see that leading space? We got an extra leading space. We don't need the leading space if we've just added this.
Yeah. Okay. So
And-
here wait. It's as simple as we just gotta go to the end of this line with end space. Nope. We're in a comment.
Look at get leading space.
Wait, can I think if I just nope. Delete.
You can select the line and then hit the letter B, and I think that'll do what you wanted it to do. But you can also use this up.
Bump up. And then here we just set leading space equal to bumble. Nothing. Delete.
Yeah, you're kind of right.
Oh, it's whatever class it's in.
No, it's in this. It's a local variable. It's right down here. But you're trying to change it before it's been declared. However, we're only changing result, and result is next used right down here. See it? Right there?
Oh.
So what we could do, because it's not used between those two places, we could take all that logic and just throw it here instead.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yeah. Okay. Because it's in between, so you add something to result before you next use result, but you're also changing leading space after you declare leading space. Okay. Yeah.
Yes. So try it now. Try running all the test cases now.
It's still gonna fail because I think.
Yeah, we got a 0.5 versus
Yeah, it's because we're declaring display string into them, not
Let's go double click
display
it.
decimal string. I believe.
Let's go double click it.
Bye bye.
interesting is this one. Okay, wait a second though. Well, all right. So this was actually our test case's fault.
Yeah.
It should be that.
1/2. So it's correct.
Yeah.
But now
So let's do this though, because we want to see the second one
we
too.
do want to see the second one.
We want to see if the second one passes.
And does the second one pass? No, I believe not. Oh,
It passes. So I think everything's passing now. Let's run everything one more time.
it should. Yeah,
51 test cases passing.
we did it.
All right, try it. Why don't you run it and try it? See if it's giving you the answers that you're expecting. Also, we should also try meters per second as a unit and see if it gets that. Because I'm not sure it gets that. I don't think our parser can
No, I
get
don't-
meters per second.
I don't think it will.
Can you run and try?
Yeah. Oh, that's not what I
Undo one more
wanted.
time so the line's back to where it was.
Control Z.
Control Z. There you go. Save it and then run. Go 5 to run.
5.
F5. Yeah.
That's 5.
If it doesn't work, hit your num lock.
I did.
Your function lock.
Meters per second. Oh,
It doesn't work. So it doesn't. What's interesting, it says all good on that, which is
that's annoying. Yeah, that's. Wait, if I do that,
Hold on.
and then
let's do. I want to try. I want to do this.
Okay.
What's 4 meters divided by 2 seconds?
yep,
That's cool, because that is now the equation for velocity, right?
yeah,
4 meters per second, right? It does give you. We do understand it on the way out. But we don't support this. What's interesting is it says it's all good.
yeah. Do we want to change that? We're running out of time, but I think
Well, I'll tell you what we have time for. We have time for a test that says, are these equal?
just 4 meters per second here as well.
Okay, we got time to create a failing test case.
Right.
Notice, by the way, Campbell, that if we change this to like birds,
Birds, birds, birds, birds.
and we ran that,
It should succeed because it's just the meters. It's just that there's a division symbol in the units. Right?
yeah,
Oh.
yeah.
Oh. It's
This
fine.
succeeds,
Yeah. So
this one fails.
I thought that was the birds one. I didn't realize you duplicated.
All right,
Did you do
yeah.
that?
So I say we can end the show. We go after this bug tomorrow.
Wait. No, it's too much.
What'd you say?
I think there might be a way to do this really quickly. I think.
Well, we can step
Probably
into
not,
2 num.
but-
You can set a breakpoint here and step into
But
it. You've got 4 minutes. 2
Where's
minutes.
where's the piece of code that for the units? The regex piece of code for the units.
I think it's find unit something. Find unit.
Find number.
Find number unit?
Yeah, find number.
So
unit.
go there, tab
In
to
this
next
class.
reference.
Yeah, it's right here. Wait, it's right. Oh, wait. Yeah, it's right here. It's this piece. Okay.
We'll just go to the create call.
Wait. But we need to change the units. Wait.
Look, let me show you something. Watch this. See these find number unit tests right here? We can add a new one of these.
Yes.
And then we come in here and we step through this one. So we're going to say 1 meter per second, like that.
Mm-hmm.
And then we're going to say find number unit. The number is going to be equal to 1. Oh, Oh. Number unit.
Can I?
Well, let's call it M per second. See if it finds it as the unit.
Can I try some?
Yeah, let me run this first and then you can go. I think we fail on this part. Oh, it passed. That's awesome, actually.
Okay.
So find number unit we know is going to work. Now we just got to take that and turn it into something real. Good, what do you want to try?
No, never mind.
Okay, you got to never mind on that. All right.
If that works, then.
Okay, so here's where we grab it. We found the units. Number units split. We split on the space. I think we need a breakpoint here. And we need, on our failed test case, we need a breakpoint here. And we say, or just a bug test, we don't actually need that one there. We should be able to get right in there. Oops. This is going to do all the others first. Hold on, let's go back. So it's on that one. I want to do this one first. So we get right to that. Try one more time. Debug the test.
Okay.
All right, here we go. So unit string is meters per second. Find unit power doesn't find it.
Uh-oh. I did something that was not intentional. That was also not. I'm just gonna stop touching it.
No more of this. Yeah, I think we're gonna need to do a split on the slash here. And we're gonna need to invert the powers of anything we find after the slash. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's what I think we need to do. So I think the fix is something like this. We're going to say index of, and we're going to look for the slash. See if that exists. Slash position is equal to that. And we're going to say, hey, if slash position is greater than 0, it means that we've got a left and kind of a right side is what that means we have.
Well, we don't want to separate the units, do we?
The left and right sides I do of this. If I have meters on one side and seconds on the other, I definitely want to separate these two out. I want to add them in two different moves.
Okay.
So here, look at this, by the way, right?
Wait. What if we have a division? Something where we divide.
Doesn't matter.
It will find that slash.
It doesn't matter. This slash it won't find because it is, I don't think so. That's a separate issue anyway if it finds it. If we get to this point, we've got meters per second, right? Then we got to do something with it. This right here, I want to put this actually above this, right here. So this whole piece here is going to be, I'm going to extract this whole thing and we're going to say add unit, like that. So it's much better, okay? That's what I want to, it's like much easier to read right there. How do we jump out over here? I don't understand that. Looks like we somehow got out of this. Let's debug the test again. All right, so here at this point, slash position, oh, I meant to say just of the slash, okay? So if slash position is greater than 0, then we're gonna do one thing. Otherwise, we're gonna just do the same add unit that we always do. Okay, makes sense?
Yeah.
And now what we wanna do is we wanna do two different calls to add unit. We wanna add unit stir dot substring of 0 to slash position, I think. If I'm remembering this right, and the other one is we want to grab everything after slash position plus 1 is what I think we want to do. So let's come back up here if we can. And now let's see. Oh yeah, cool. See it? It's just M.
Yeah.
So we're going to add unit M. But now though we have a problem. This one, it's after. This one we need to give it a negative power on this add unit right here. And we have no way to do that. Let's go look inside add unit real quickly. Where do we set its power? Power, superscript normal, superscript power, and power. So we're using powers here and here for numbers. What I'm going to do is I'm going to add one more piece in here, and we're going to call this the power multiplier. And I'm going to set it equal to 1 by default. Okay? Then I'm going to use the power multiplier in both places where we've got the power. So just multiplying by 1 right now.
Yeah.
But if I throw in, what's my problem up here? Oh, superscript to normal, whoops. Superscript to normal, that's the string, and then I'm going to multiply that by the power. Okay? And what's my problem now? Double and decimal. I'm going to replace this with the type double. Okay? So now that those should both be fixed, good. All right, add unit. Now what I'm going to do is the second one, this is the seconds, I'm going to throw in a -1. Make sense?
Yeah.
Okay, so let's go back to that test. And let's just run it. See if it fixes it. Test meters per second through an exception. Length cannot be less than 0. All right, I think we are. Oh, I gave you a length of. That should have just been the substring. I get the -1 is there. I passed in a -1 to the length, but I meant to pass it in as the other parameter. Does that make sense? I was here,
Yeah.
and that's the length of the substring, and I wanted to be here. Okay, one more time. Run that test case. Run all our test cases. I'm gonna get a RAID set up.
Awesome. Okay, that's amazing. They all should pass, but you know, you never know.
You never know.
All right.
All right.
Okay. Bye.
All right, guys. Thanks for watching. I'll send you over to C# Fritz.
See you tomorrow.
Have a good day.